If you price your home correctly, the list price is simply an invitation. That's the most simple way that you can understand that. So we like to eat, we like a good kitchen, and making it nice and enjoyable to also picture themselves in that home is going to allow you to price that home at a very competitive price and still drive more traffic. If you can upgrade the light fixtures in your home, I am telling you, that makes such a big difference. Welcome to Living in El Paso. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm 𝐅𝐫𝐞𝐞, and today I want to share with you 7 components that you should consider prior to listing your home. I'm going to give you a list down below as well, so if that's something you're interested in downloading, feel free to click down below on the description, and this will be a guide to guide you when considering selling your property. And also there will be an additional resource for you of things you should consider updating prior to selling. This actually happened recently, and that's why I decided to make a new and updated video. We had a new seller that is interested in essentially selling their property. They're military, they're relocating, so obviously time is of the essence. Now, the reason this is important to know is because when it comes to selling the property, there's different approaches, and we will make a completely new video for you guys to have in the back burner in terms of what you should consider before selling your home. However, there's certain factors, because if somebody, let's say, tells me, I have all the time in the world, and I just want you to get me that one unique buyer that is going to pay my one unique price, and I don't care if it drags out for over a year, I am willing to wait, because other than that, if nobody else sees the value in it, I'm not gonna sell, okay? There's that approach. Then there's a different approach, which is going to be for people that are motivated to sell, and they're going to have to decide how quickly time of the essence really plays in their factors. When we deal with people that are going through divorce, well, time is actually a little bit different for them, because if they have something where both parties haven't agreed to, there's actually people that will tell us, Alexa, I don't care if we leave money on the table, we need to sell this because I'm moving on, I don't want to deal with this person anymore. Those situations are a little bit different, right? But then we have the sweet spot, the point where if you price your home correctly, the list price is simply an invitation. That's the most simple way that you can understand that. What we mean by an invitation is if the property has everything that you should have to compete with your surrounding properties, there is no reason for you not to get the price that you are asking for, and maybe even above. But that is why it's an invitation. A lot of people, they get so consumed by thinking this is the final price I'm going to get for the home, when in reality, that is not really the way it works. Now, one of the things you really want to consider when you are listing your property is if it's an invitation, you want to make sure that when buyers are going through your property, they are seeing stuff that is going to captivate their attention. Whenever you are pricing your home, this is where you want to get in touch with the actual advisor to advise you based off the comps, but also based off the competition. Most agents, what they like to do is a CMA, competitive market analysis, essentially to see what the comps in the area are, comparables, okay? Now, when they do this, some of them only include properties that have sold. And although that is how the appraiser is going to keep this in mind to obviously assess the values of your home, they are also going to be competing, your listing is going to compete with other properties that are in that specific area. So if you think about it, if your house is the nicest in the block, and there's other people that their house maybe needs a little bit more taken care of, and it's stuff that you can noticeably see you've taken care of your home more. Chances are, if you are priced in that price point where, let's say, the granite countertops were also included in that other house, the light fixtures were more upgraded in your house, the landscaping was done in your house and the other houses didn't, those very subtle differences are already going to make your property actually come on top of the competition. And on that same factor, if those houses have more things to offer and you guys all list at the same price, as a buyer, right, if you were in their situation, you would prefer the house that has more upgrades and more amenities. So this is why it's important to also see what you're actively competing with at the time of listing the property in order for you to have a competitive advantage. We once had a property that had been sitting on the market, wasn't our listing, it was something that we were using as a comp. And when we saw the property, the house was really nice. However, we noticed that the marketing really hadn't been the best for that particular home. So what I mentioned to my client, I was like, look, I recommend we run some ads. I told her our strategy. And then I mentioned to her, let's price it literally, it was like, I think like $1,000 less than that home, simply to get, again, attention on the home. We actually ended up getting multiple bids on that property, drove the price above what we originally wanted, no closing costs, and that actually benefited our seller because now they actually got the end result that they were looking for. So now, to dive deep into a few of the things that you should consider upgrading before listing your property, let's dive deep. Now, the first thing you want to consider upgrading is going to be your kitchen. Now, depending on your budget, this might not or might be feasible, but it doesn't mean you have to completely renovate the kitchen. It could be something as small as painting the cabinets, maybe adding some, if you have like Formica, making it more of like a marble, nice neutral tones that you can actually do yourself. There's a lot of techniques for that, or actually upgrading the slabs if you can afford that. Also, the hardware. If you can actually remove that to make it more upgraded, that right there is going to captivate the attention of buyers that are walking in and seeing the property. And as we know, most of us like to eat. So if we like to eat, we like a good kitchen, and making it nice and enjoyable to also picture themselves in that home is going to allow you to price that home at a very competitive price and still drive more traffic. Another thing is the light fixtures. If you can upgrade the light fixtures in your home, I am telling you, that makes such a big difference. You can literally go on Amazon, you can search fixtures, and literally Amazon will have some great prices for something that you now paid very little for. You upgraded it, and now your home, when you get those nice pictures that your agent should be taking for you. So if you're going down the route of you doing it yourself, of course, and that's completely different. But if you have an agent, make sure they're taking professional pictures and ask them that question, because a lot of them, they want to cheap out and not pay for a professional photographer to go and take the video and go and take the picture. And at the end of the day, it ends up costing you money because the pictures don't look nice. And then when buyers are looking through them and they're comparing them to other very nice pictures and your pictures don't look as nice, they will just glance through it and not even look back. So that was a quick side note there. But making sure that the fixtures are upgraded, that can also really help you ensure that you get the most for your money because it looks nice and it's welcoming, and it's a very simple upgrade that you can do that will definitely pay off. Now, tip number 3 on upgrades that you should consider doing, and this is not something that you have to do. Again, all of these tips that we're giving, take them with a grain of salt, but they have definitely played a huge factor, and that's the bathrooms. I have seen it time and time again where clients will really like the house. They're like, oh, it's a great layout. Oh, I like the backyard. Okay, they go to the bathrooms. You know the grout around the bathroom that if you don't take care of, starts getting ugly? Yeah, we know that. That is a turnoff to so many buyers. Some people don't care. Some people will be like, oh, I'll just cut it off and I'll put it back on. Some people are very disgusted by it, okay? So if that is the case, you might just want to literally with a knife, I did it on one of my flips, just take it off, and then you reseal it. Watch a video. I'm not here to show you how to do that because I watched a video myself, but it's very simple. So it doesn't cost you a lot of money. You literally go to Home Depot, buy the equipment, once you've watched the video that tells you what equipment to buy, and then you just go ahead and put it on. Very simple, and it brings that level of hygiene of the home so much further. And again, some people, they really don't care about little things like that. Other people, this is something that they're personally always looking for. They want the home to feel clean. They want the home to feel safe. And these little things can make a big difference. Now, another tip for you is the landscaping. And this is where I like to say, It doesn't necessarily add value in terms of the appraised value of your home. Okay, remember, the appraised value is when the appraiser goes out to your home and actually does an appraisal and says, hey, this is how much the home is worth. They send it to the buyer. Usually that's the person that actually pays for the appraiser, unless you decided to do an appraisal prior to actually going on the market. So once they look at that, they're not gonna say, oh, well, Mr. Jones put some nice grass, we're gonna give them an extra, $2,000 worth of value. I wish they did that, but they don't, okay? So when I say adding landscape and adding value to your home, I mean in the eye of the beholder. Think about it. If you were buying a home and I put two houses, same square footage, same price point, same location, but one of them has landscape, chances are you're gonna go with the landscape. Unless you're thinking of putting a pool and you're like, actually no, I would have much rather something without anything. Hey, to each their own. But if you ask me, I would prefer something that already has a landscape, because then that means I save myself money. And if I'm purchasing a home, that means that there's bills that are piling up. I'm either paying movers, I'm paying for, window treatments, I'm paying for all these additional fees. And if you see the backyard done in a home, you're just like, this closes a deal. And I've seen it happen, which is why I wanted to bring it to your attention. Curb appeal, landscaping, they fall under the same category for me at least. Curb appeal, that could be in the front of your home, right? Right now, we're actually touring this beautiful home out in San Elizario. We will be showing you guys a full tour so you guys can check it out and see what you guys think. But this is where you can notice a house that's taken care of as soon as you approach it versus a house that, yeah, maybe it has not been treated the best. And with that, I do want to also share with you this particular home just so that you guys can kind of get an idea for what El Paso market looks like. I know a lot of the people that watch our videos, they're considering relocating into El Paso. What you want to consider is as you move further out, whether it's further to the east or further to the west side, you're going to have a lot more for your money in terms of square footage. This particular home is sitting in over 12,000 square foot lot. This is actually over 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms. It has a basketball court area. It has a huge backyard. It has an office. There's so much space, and all under $450,000. I mean, if I go to LA right now, if I go to Florida right now, prices, I have a lot of our people that relocate from over there, that's why I'm mentioning those, are very different, right? You can buy a shack if you're lucky. And of course, I know, don't come for me in the comments. Some of the people are like, well, it's Texas versus, the beach. To each their own, okay? Everybody likes different things, and some people like the countryside, and some people want to have, the crops and the mountain biking. And again, we made a video about activity, so if you want to watch that, watch that. But my point here is landscaping is something that's important, and this particular home did it all. So we will be showing you guys the full tour so you guys can let us know what you think. But with that being said, let's dive back into the final steps. Now, another tip for you if you are considering selling your home, and this has to be like honestly top of your priorities, okay? Depending on how much you want to sell your house for. Please, please, please hire a professional cleaner. If your agency is not doing it for you, why are you hiring them? Because they should, but that's not the point here. Get a professional cleaner and make sure your house smells good, okay? I am telling you, so many times it happens where people go into a home, they're like, oh my God, it's beautiful in the pictures, I love it. I can't wait to see it. We open the door, and as soon as you open the door, you get a whiff, and that whiff is not pleasant. That whiff is either cat feces or dog feces, or maybe something else, but it's never enjoyable. People literally run right out. I remember there was this one time, me and one of my clients were both like pregnant at the same time. I was showing them some houses, and as we walk into the house, we smell it, and it was like, we're not going in. Like, I want it. We both felt the same feeling that we, felt. And the husband went in, he came back out. He's like, yeah, it has potential, but I don't think my wife's gonna move forward with this knowing that, it smelled the way that it did. And you might say, well, they can clean it and they can get the carpets out. Yeah, but a lot of people don't wanna do that, right? So if you can make sure, if Billy made some messes in that carpet, hey, take that carpet out and go ahead and get the fresh scents that you need in the house to make sure that you can get it for top dollar. Now, with that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching this video up until the end. And if you are having any questions about selling, please feel free to click down below on our guide. We will be more than happy to send that over. We have a free book for our clients, and we also have a guide. Whether you're a client or not, use this as a tool. I want to make sure that you're prepared to sell your property and get the best result for what you're looking for. And also, if you are actively in the real estate market, whether it be here in Texas or somewhere else, feel free to reach out to us. We have agents throughout the US, and we can partner you up with the right person to help you in that journey. Now, also, I want to ask you, if you've got any value from this video, if you would consider giving it a thumbs up and a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. With that, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.